Hello friends, this is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and today I want to present to you 7 tips that you can use to prepare most effectively for the upcoming legendary and or heroic battles. Now these are things that I've gathered, put together. These are ideas that I've come up with from other YouTube channels, other things that I've seen, just my own personal experience, and I wanted to create something that you guys could use to help yourselves prepare for the upcoming events. First and foremost is knowledge is power. The more information you have, the more nimble and agile you're going to be in your farming strategy, in your gameplay, in everything. And everything really spools from this very first one. Just gain as much information as you possibly can about the event, about the characters that were going to be needed, about everything. That will guide you. The knowledge that you gain will guide you, and you will be better for it. It will help you prepare for all of these events, and will take a lot of the anxiety and fear away from whatever we're going to be receiving. And that's what makes the game so frustrating, is that fear, that anxiety, right? Number 2, don't panic farm. Panic farming, for those of you who aren't familiar with the term, is you hear about a new character that's coming out and it's like, oh, I've got to have this one character for this event or else I'm not going to be able to play. You know what? Don't do it. It's not worth it. It's not worth your time. It's not worth your sanity. It's not worth your current farm. It's going to throw everything off. Just don't panic farm. There's a few things that you need to remember when it comes to these types of events. One, these characters are going to be meta, no matter what they are. If they're heroic, if they're going to be legendary, they're going to be meta. Look at all the other characters that we've seen in the past, all the other heroic and legendary characters. They've all been meta, and they've been meta at 5-star. So you don't need them super high for them to be valuable in arena and to be valuable in areas of the game. Now, obviously, to use them at their most full potential, you will have to get them to 7-star. Obviously, that's obvious, right? I can't say obvious more times than that. But they are going to be meta at lower stars. Keep in mind that they are also unlockable and playable typically at 5-star. I want to say that there was one legendary character that you had to have 7-star to be able to unlock them. I want to say it was CLS. To be able to play with CLS, I think you had to have them all the way to 7-star. I don't quite remember. In the past, players have been able to use these characters at 5-star. So keep that in mind. There's no reason to spend hundreds of dollars, if not dozens of dollars or whatever, to panic farm, to freak out, right? It's not worth your sanity. These events are going to come back. Now, it may take 6 months for them to come back. It may take 3 months for them to come back, but they will come back. Also, you don't have to have these characters 7-star or 5-star at the beginning of the event. You will have some time during the event to get your characters up. That is also important to remember. The third thing is farm strategically. Now, obviously, we don't want you to panic farm. Obviously, you shouldn't be panic farming. That's not the best way to live this life, to play this game. It just doesn't make a ton of sense. Don't do it. But farm strategically. For example, right now as I make this video, we are coming up on what we could possibly be a scoundrel character, someone from the Solo film. We could possibly be getting a KOTOR character. It's been debated over Malik or Revan. I don't know if we'll get Revan. Malik, we could. Really, anything from KOTOR would make sense. There's definitely some connection to the bounty hunters. Those are the 3 areas that they've been reworking this summer, and it makes sense to farm those characters. Now, what I would suggest is farm them in that order. Farm them solo first. Get all of the solo characters, because it's possible that will be the first legendary event that we're going to be getting. Put them first and foremost in your roster. Mark them as favorites. Get them up as high as you possibly can, keeping in mind that they only have to be 5-star. If you know you're not going to be able to unlock a tune all the way to 7-star, get them to 5-star, put them at gear 7 or 8, and move on, right? Focus your efforts on someone else. Don't use your crystals crazily, but don't also be afraid to use them. If you are not someone who buys crystals, don't do it, right? It's not worth it. But if you're a person who does, use your crystals strategically. Take advantage of your refreshes. That is probably going to be the thing that gets you the most bang for your buck. Now, moving on, this is kind of a two-part one. I call it review the tapes, and this is part A, right? Side A, part A, whatever you want to say. Whether it's a legendary event, whether it's a hero's journey, you need to know what that event will look like. Go back, look at YouTube, look at old forum posts, find stuff that tells you what to expect and plan for that. Don't go in blind. Don't go in on your first day saying, oh, I'm going to do all of this stuff. Know what you're going to be doing. Know what you're going to be working towards, and know what's the minimum value proposition, like the least amount of effort and or time that you need to invest into this legendary or heroic character, right? MVP, minimum value proposition. Invest in as little amount as you possibly can so you're not wasting your entire resource pool on a character that you may not be able to get to 7-star. So know what you're getting into, know what it's going to cost you, and know how it's going to play out, right? Now, the flip side of that is review the tapes part B. Know the team you're going to need to use. This means know their strengths, their weaknesses, their synergies, how to mod them, how best to, what turn order you need to be going against. If you already have gameplay of the event, so if this is a recurring event, you just don't have BB-8 or you don't have CLS or whatever, look at gameplay and see what's the best kill order that you need to do to use to win out, to win the game. What characters do you need to take out first? Go in with a plan and a strategy. Moving on, gear appropriately. I've made this mistake many times, specifically with the Phoenix team, using Phoenix to get Thrawn. But as far as gearing goes, what I would do is I would make sure that everyone is between gear 8 and 10. What I would look for is a few of the powerhouses. The reason I say gear appropriately is because you don't want to completely waste your pools, your ability mats, your MK3 ability mats, your Omegas and your Zetas, right? You want to go into whichever one of these events comes up first. Any event that comes up first with enough ability mats that you can completely max out everyone. Now, if you have 300, 500, 600,000 MK3s, yeah, go crazy, go buck nutty. That's fine. But if you have 50 to 80, I would start saving now and start strategically kind of dispersing those out to teams that you think you're going to be needing, right? Because I remember when I first started the Thrawn event and I was gearing up everyone. I wanted Chopper. I was like, I've got to gear up Chopper. He's got to have all of his abilities maxed out, Omega, everything. Well, if I don't use Chopper, that doesn't make sense for me to waste that time and energy. So this is why it's important to know your team, how they work together, and their strengths and weaknesses. So crucial. And also, it allows you some leeway towards the end. As you're going through and seeing this team in play, you're going to be able to make tweaks and adjustments based on what you're seeing, based on the evidence. And that is going to help probably more than a lot of other stuff. Now, finally, friends, I just think that talking it out, getting your strategy out with a friend, a guildmate, reviewing some footage online, coming to me, asking for help, going to other game changers, going to someone else who knows or has a different idea than you do is just going to be beneficial in the long run. It is something that is going to help you both in this game and in life, right? It's just going to help. Keep that in mind that there are other ways to go about doing this. As they say, there's other ways to skin a cat, right? I don't know why you'd skin a cat, but apparently there's more than one way to do it. And there's probably more than one way to use whatever team we're going to be using to unlock these legendary characters and these heroic Journey characters. It's speculated that there's going to be between 2 and 4 potential events over the coming months. If you follow these 7 steps, you're going to have at least a solid plan of attack. You may not be able to completely 7-star whatever legendary character or heroic character that's out there, but you can at least unlock them. And that's going to be a major bonus for you in the long run. I promise. Leave a comment with the section below. Let me know how you're planning. Let me know what you would have added to this list. What are some tips that you can share with the community? Join the community. Visit us on Discord. Follow us on goingnerdy.com, on Twitter, on Instagram, whatever. This has been Thaddeus from Going Nerdy. And as always, my friends, stay nerdy.